Well, hello, folks out there. For those of you who may have missed us because you haven't yet figured out it's daylight savings time, we understand that. But before that, my wife says I need to be more humanistic. So I'm into business. Hi, folks. I hope you guys are doing okay. Hi, Tommy. How are you doing?
Wow, that's the new side of you, humanistic. How great is that?
I'm working at it. It's
Thank
painful.
God for your wife.
Fair enough. For those of you who may have missed us because you haven't caught up to daylight savings, that's okay. We are available in the replay. We'd like to remind you that you can see us on, is it Zoom, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We do ask if you look at us through is it YouTube? Yes.
Yes.
Remember to sign in through Google so you can give your comments back to us, which we really, really want. Well, I do. I'm not so sure about Tommy yet. I'm still chasing him around the ring, determining is this thing of confidence in public speaking, is it genetically ingrained or is it something you can learn to be a successful public speaker? But share your comments, share your thoughts, at least with other people. Share that too, that we exist. We'd love to get your input. Today's topic is, I hear Tommy talk during the different times. By the way, this is our 26th one, so we keep plugging at it, folks.
26 weeks of you.
Tommy, and he's still enthralled with me. Can you imagine? Hey, I get it. So
I still got hair.
The concept here, presentation and public speaking. I won't say hung up on words, but I really get into wording because I think words have meaning. And Tommy has sometimes indicated that public speaking and presentation is not quite the same. Now, to me, my definition is if I get up in front of anybody other than my cat or my stuffed teddy bear and I start talking,
oh boy,
I'm doing speaking. And so what's the difference between presentation and public speaking? That's my question of the day.
Now, my question is, why are you talking to a teddy bear? That's the question of the day. Don't let them fool you, folks.
My teddy bear doesn't tell me to shut up, so that's an easy one for me to get back to.
Good reason. I love this question, presentation, public speaking. So here's what I'm going to say. Let's just make believe for a little while that they're the exact same thing. And no matter what, if you're going to do public speaking or you're going to give a presentation.
Right.
Listen, I'm a blue collar guy. Do I have the breakdown of what it is? And no. Am I going to scientifically be able to lay it out for you? No. Okay. But I can tell you this. If you get good at public speaking and you learn the skills that go along with it, the nonverbal skills, right? Gestures, and then you learn the vocal skills and you learn how to use your voice and how to add humor, right? And how to use props and visual aids and how to connect with your audience. If you learn all of that in the first place, it'll carry over to any presentation. So what I would say is, number one, and my favorite thing to say is get good at public speaking. It'll take care of every presentation you ever have to give because of those skills. Those skills carry over to the presentation. If you can speak well and eloquently, you'll be able to do the same on a virtual platform. So this is the whole new thing is we went from the live platform, the stage, in front of a training audience, wherever you might be, as a teacher, as a speaker, as a trainer, you need to be in front of your audience. And we had to take those skills and move them to the virtual platform. And, we've talked about this. I was kicking, screaming, fighting. I didn't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But here we are.
Excuse me, folks, and that is the Tommy that I know in private. So,
kicking and screaming and talking to my cat. That's it. So, yeah, it's, the bottom line is learn those skills of the public speaker, how to give a presentation, how to put a presentation together. Again, think of it as this way. What platform are you speaking on? Do you need to tweak something? But those original skills and those talents that you develop, they will carry over to any platform. So don't think about coming on to Zoom without first working on those skills that will allow you to, succeed and stand out on Zoom or any platform virtually. Same skills, same talent.
I hear what you're saying, and
Right.
my left brain is working at this, but my right brain hasn't caught up to it yet. I was speaking to somebody last week, actually. Today is Monday, so that wasn't so
Right.
far ago. And he was a corporate kind of guy, now starting his own business. And he talked about when he was corporate, upper echelon, he would give, quote, presentations. And he
Right.
almost kind of said that it was kind of perfunctory. What do I mean by that?
Yeah, it's a good question.
I can figure it out myself. He kind of implied it didn't matter almost what the audience thought of it. He was to give a seminar or whatever it was. He gave the bullet points, he gave the facts, he showed the slides and pointed his arrow at whatever. He's done. He's now saying that now that he's in his own business, he has to make, seemingly there's a different burden for him, a different kind of connectivity with his audience. So I kind of was asking along that line. I thought it was two distinct things as opposed to one leading into the other. So am I hearing that incorrectly?
Well, I'm glad we're not naming names, because no matter where he was giving the presentation, it always matters to your audience. I don't care if it's employees or managers who are below you. You still have to connect with them. You got to make them feel like they're important. And the reason you're giving the presentation is for them, not for you. So if you go through life and you're just giving a presentation to get through it, like, hey, I'm getting paid by the hour, I'm going to give an hour presentation and move on with the rest of my day. Yeah, that's not a way to look at it. Put the presentation together, be a professional. Why are you giving the presentation in the first place? Even if it is to employees, why are you giving it? It's usually there to what? Motivate them, inspire them, educate them, or inform them about something going on with the company, right? It should be some important news or exciting news or something to lift their spirits and motivate them and drive them. So to just deliver it with that's how people, what you put out, you get back. So if you put that presentation out, that's what you're going to get back from the people. And you know, we talk about this all the time.
Well, let me ask you a different question. I hear that. So
Yeah.
let's take it from a different angle. I'm a student in a classroom, huge lecture hall, and the professor or instructor is giving a lecture. Is versus presentation versus public speaking. If I hear you correctly, it's kind of all the same thing.
Well, yeah, each professor, each teacher should actually prepare their presentation, that what they're teaching. What's the difference between being in front of a classroom? Now, don't forget, what it comes down to is many people have different teaching styles. And if you realize it's all based on the personality of your audience, why some people like and have a favorite teacher their whole life. Why do you think that is? Is it because of what they taught, or is it because of how they taught?
Well, for me, I had to take that credit out to make my major work for me. So I didn't have a choice. I did what I had to do. I mean, I hear what you're saying.
Right.
And actually, as I'm saying this, maybe it works both ways. The teacher is assigned a certain, it could be a student proctor, and they're working on their master's degree or something. So to pay the bills, I'm not saying they're not involved, they're not enthusiastic. I guess I'm thinking a public speaker. I think of that guy that's got 10 gazillion people, and he's animated and he's talking and he's all over the place and doing somersaults, and somebody else that points the wand and, okay, look at this point, look at that point, see these different graphs, and they're showing little dinky things on the screen with flashlight going all over the place fast. How I see a different sense of energy and interest of understanding. Am I reading that wrong? Was that person presenting wrong?
Well, you've got the picture and you've got the image that everybody holds of the motivational speaker, right? The man who's like, "Come on, you can be, do, and have," and getting you fired up on one knee. And
something like you, kind of,
kind of like me.
Oh, please.
So that being said, you're going there to be motivated, right? Not so much educated, not so much informed, but you go away. It's like going on a retreat, a mind shift, a mindset. That's the kind of thing it is. You leave. The problem with motivation, as Zig used to say, motivation is temporary, but then again, so is showering. That's why I do it every day.
Good point.
Good point. So, that's the whole thing of the motive. And you don't see it quite as much anymore. The big time corporate people bringing in motivational speakers to motivate the employees. I think that people are motivated differently today. So really what it comes down to is if you're going to be in front of an audience at 15, 20, 50, bringing out the energy from you to them, they still need to know that you care.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the phrase that we've been using, as a matter of fact, it's come up a few different times the last couple of weeks.
Well, but before you go further, I'm going to interrupt. You want people to feel that you care.
Right.
How would you project that in giving a presentation?
Well, the saying is, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
Fair.
So the bottom line is you need to connect with your audience, that the reason you're there is to help them. Bottom line, I've got some information. I share this a lot. And to the audience, anybody listening, I truly believe this and always have. Everybody has a story that can help someone else. Right. Every one of us. Every one of us has been into a car accident or slid on ice or hit black ice and fell. And we've all done something in our lives that we can raise awareness for someone else that, hey, this could happen to you. So keep your eye out for it. And we raise people's awareness. We've all been through those challenges.
Right.
And the best thing that we can do is go out and share our story. Everybody has a story that could help someone else. So my thing is, if you could learn to present yourself, as we always say, the message or the messenger, right? You have a message, so become good at being the messenger, and people will listen. Okay. They will.
So, not to give you a plug, but how would you make someone make that connection? Let me phrase that. Let me do this differently. Somebody who's not yet prepared to pony up any dollars and cents to learn how to be a public speaker. You've made it clear one has to want to do it before they would move in that direction.
Right.
But I'm trying to get a freebie for my audience here. I'll say it like
there
that.
You go.
So what might one do on their own as a baby step or a micro step to kind of achieve what you've just mentioned?
Well, you had mentioned that some people want to do it and some people need to do it. There are people in the world who need to do it. And especially now, many people growing into being solopreneurs or small business owners. And I love this phrase, if you're the face of the business, you better stand out, you better shine. And your presentation and how you present yourself as well as your message, right? If you're at a networking event, you can't get two sentences together, yet you're the owner of the business. Your business is going to struggle.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. All right. Is that a knockout blow?
Would you use some underarm deodorant, please, when you do that?
It's too early for that.
Jiminy cricket.
I'm waiting for the spring lilacs to come up.
I hear that. Fair enough. Well, it's interesting that this whole issue of communication and dialogue, when you and I first talked, that you had said that a Zoom, rephrase that to say it differently. You indicated that the Zoom thing has kind of taken away public speaking ambiance. I guess maybe that's the way you're saying it.
Right.
But yet use this as an example. Back in the day, even now with Zooms, people, when they asked to give their shot about who they are, their spotlight, moment in the sun.
Right.
It's not uncommon. People will look down at their feet as they're talking to themselves about why you should have interest in my business. So I'm assuming that's not the best way to do that.
Well, you know it. We know business was always done by looking someone in the eye and having a handshake. Listen, that's what it was about. So I actually just did something the other day. I put out a video. I do a 1 minute tip, and how do you give a virtual handshake? It hit me one day. I was just like, hey, Joe, good morning, shake your hand, right?
Right.
So how do we give a virtual handshake? The handshake is to connect with someone, right? So I realized that the other day I said, we can give virtual handshakes by complimenting somebody on something. Hey, good to see you. Good morning. I like that shirt. I like the way your hair looks. Whatever it is, connecting human being to human being. That's what a handshake really is. It's two people connecting, right? Virtually, how do we do that?
Right.
A compliment, a nod of the head, an agreement, right? Connecting with that human being. The thing that I try to teach right now with the Zoom platform, or we're giving Zoom so much credit. They're billionaires already. Let's just talk on a virtual platform so I don't have to plug them all day long.
Right.
But,
Fair.
On a virtual platform, how do we connect as human beings? Well, we have to remember that we're still talking to another human being. Let's not think we're just talking like robots anymore. And God willing, we'll get back to presenting live with human face-to-face, person to person again. That's my goal. That's my dream. That's what I want. I think that's where most business will be done. Can it be done virtually? Yeah, it's a whole different thing. I like the human being to human being thing, and let's hope we get there.
I hear you, and I'm a little bit mixed on that, a little bit meandering off subject, but that's okay. It's timely. Folks, let me say this, by the way, as a commercial break. Tommy and I don't rehearse. We don't rehearse this stuff, and
they know.
we if you can't tell that, we agreed that we would start cold turkey if we made mistakes, because neither of us have really done this virtual connectivity thing, that we expect we'll get better at this. And at some point, the audience will say, wow, you guys are good. You must have been born this way.
Right.
But Tommy makes the same claim about public speaking. You don't have to be born to be not an introvert and to be not shy. As long as the desire's there, you have the ability to get there. He has the ability to get you there also. I'm not buying it still, and that's the whole purpose of this dialogue.
Wow.
Not to feed him or support him, but to hey, put up or shut up syndrome, and he's yet to stop talking. So I guess he's still working at it.
I thought I did good today. I thought I was getting a pat on the back today.
Well, yes, Tom, you did very good. Fantastic.
Very well. Very well.
Fair enough. So we do enjoy ourselves. But that being said, back on subject, I believe that the virtual connectivity will remain a part of it. I go to meetings historically that were not in my county, doing non-rush hour traffic, 45-minute drive one way, a meeting an hour and a half, another hour back, 4 hours of my day. I could do half-hour Zooms, 5 or 6 or 7. So I think there's something to be said about both. But I do believe that it seems to be a continuity. I think I've heard maybe the next subject, because you can't fist bump, shoulder bump, shake hands, hug each other and whatnot. You've got to do animation in a different format in a virtual setting. And I guess we're hitting our timeline here of curfew to take us home. More subject material for the future. Any interest, please holler out to us. But Tommy, you want to take us home with a final few words of commentary?
Well, as you were saying, hopefully in this, it's not much a teaching lesson, but, I hope we can get back together and connect with people. I really do believe that we're pack animals and we need each other more than anybody could ever think. And this is a great way. At my thinking, and I'll stick with it, if somebody might be differently, I think Zoom is second best, but it's all we have right now. But I know I would love to go out and have a business lunch with someone and hang out. So we'll get to that. And next week we'll have a different topic, and I look forward to it.
Same here. Thanks, folks. And have a good week. And please leave your comments.
Thank you.